Mr. Rogers. When I need a change into my boots, I got a call saying there was no heat, but they got hot water though. We gon' call this one Mysterious Boiler Issues. Starring Lamar Brandon Campbell. We gonna find out what's going on. And you know why? Tell him.
Mr. Boilerman.
I'm calling the super.
No.
He's gonna come. I'm gonna tell him that I'm the boiler hero. They called it in. Super said he wasn't getting no heat. This is my first time at this building. I've been to this building before with another company, but this is my first time I guess my first time back. So he's taking me to the boiler room. I already know what's there. That locking bar. He's saying that it's not getting hot. I touch him, and he's right. It's pretty cold. So I do my little walkthrough to see what's going on. I see that they have a hot water boiler on his own, so he has hot water. It's a large, and this is strictly for his heat. 2 heat pumps, everything's cold. So I'm like, okay, why this boiler's not turning on? So the only thing I gotta look for is what causes this boiler to turn on.
This is for your heat right here, right?
I go to the US energy panel, put it on bypass, but it's already on bypass. So this is a heat control, so it would be that.
What controls your heat? What tells your heat to come on? Like, how does this thing know that you need heat? Like right now, this boiler's on standby. So it's waiting for something to tell it that it needs to turn on. That's the only thing that controls your heat? What controls your heat?
So he's pretty much telling me that the boiler does it on his own.
So this boiler is constantly running?
So pretty much the boiler has its own outdoor sensor, which he's taking me to go check. The outdoor sensor tells the boiler the temperature of outside, and if it's below the setting, the boiler will come on for heat. So there's no heat timer or nothing like that, no tech mark. Just a sensor that tells the boiler when to come on for heat.
Doesn't make sense. Something has to control the boiler. Something tells it that it's winter, and something tells it that it's summer. Something tells it that it's hot. Something tells it that it's cold.
Has to be a thermostat.
It's not giving heat because it's not turning on.
There was a movie called Skyscraper starring The Rock. And in that movie, the lesson in that movie was about turning it off and turning it back on for the reset. That movie kind of gave me the idea that anytime I got a computer frozen somewhere, I gotta turn it off and turn it back on. So right now, it seems like the boiler is in standby, and the temperature outside is telling the boiler that it should be on, but it's not. Something's holding it, and it doesn't seem like there's anything holding it. So the best thing you could do is try to reset it somehow. Now, I haven't worked on this boiler too many times, so while I'm going through the menu, I'm pretty much teaching myself the menu. Pretty much learning the menu and how the menu works, learning where all the numbers are located and stuff like that, and pretty much where all my settings are at. Now I'm noticing there's some literature or some words that I'm not understanding, and some words that I can't find that I do understand, like outdoor sensor. There's no outdoor sensor wording or anything like that, but I do see user set point. Now I don't know what that really means, so I'm most likely gonna check on Google and look at the manual and see where I can find the outdoor sensor, because that's what's controlling the boiler. And when I go through the manual, I realize the outdoor sensor, it's actually user set point. You see, I was about to turn it off, but I didn't, because I was afraid that it would have just did too much. I should have tried it right then, but I didn't. The funny thing is, the super knows that turning it off and turning it back on would fix it right now, but he's not telling me. I guess he wants me to figure it out on my own.
Something is holding it out, bro. I need to know. I don't. Oh my God.
There it goes. I turned the power off. I put it back on and it seems like everything's starting to fire up. And the boiler's not gonna fire now. So that's why I call it a mysterious issue. I enjoy reading the manual when I got time, especially when I'm on the job. It helps out a lot, and I learn a lot while I'm reading the manual. So this is how I learned user set point was actually the outdoor sensor. It helped out a lot. I also noticed that the SYS system temperature was blacking out, and every time it blacked out, the boiler would stop, and every time it came back on where I would see the temperature, the boiler would kick on. So I know that my sensor's giving me issues. So now I want to check where the sensors are wired, make sure they're tight, and then maybe possibly I'll come back and change the sensor. They put a heat timer sensor there. I know that's not the one made for this boiler. I'm gonna have to go get me a Lochinvar sensor. That's the right sensor. See, right now the boiler turned off. It wasn't satisfied or nothing. It's because that system temperature went out. The pumps ain't running, so I'm like, what's going on? It was just running. So what's going on? It's definitely that sensor. So I don't know if it's this panel right here that's the problem or the sensor itself. Something could be loose, I'm not too sure.
gauge though, going over there.
But something gotta cause these Takeo pumps to start. And I'm like, maybe the Takeo pump is bad itself. Let me take power, but it can't be bad. It was just running. I try to press the reset to see if it's tripped out. I'm looking for a circuit breaker. There it goes. Nothing seems to be tripped. So what else can be the problem? Whenever you got these boilers with little circuit boards and all this other stuff, they have little tiny issues that can't be seen. Communication issues. Actually, communication issues are the worst. Those are problems that you can't really fix. So I'm trying to see if I got power to the pump, and I don't. It's because there's no coffee heat. I gotta get it to coffee heat.
That's amazing. This is the only thing that's not over. Now it's made. Now it's made.
Everything seems to be working, but I can't get this boiler to start.
Everything is made here, bro.
I'm trying to trace out where those wires come from. It doesn't matter though. I already know that there's something wrong with the board or the communication of the board. How to fix that, I'll be honest, either change the board or I don't know. That's why I say these are one of those problems that I will never know the answer until somebody tells me. But until then, at least I had the boiler running and I know the problem.
Tank thermostat.